What's going on? What's going on? What's going on, everyone? How y'all doing this morning? It is Friday, a Friday for myself, because I'm part of one of the greatest military fraternities out there in the world, Rho Phi Military Fraternity Incorporated in the building. As you know, it is first formation, falling. How y'all doing this Friday, man? Hopefully everybody enjoying their beginning of their Friday morning. As you see, got my man's on here, CC. Unfortunately, we are unable to have uh, Trey on here today. He has some medical things going on this morning, so he won't be able to tune in to First Formation. But CC, how you doing on this Friday, man? What's
No, I'm
good
doing
with you?
great. Doing
That's
great
what's up, man.
today. It's all right. Man, looking forward to this weekend. Memorial Day
Okay.
weekend.
That's right. It is Memorial Day weekend. It starts today. Memorial Day is, of course, on Monday. But we do have most military personnel get that Friday off as well. So we in here, we in the building. We in the building, man. We got a few things to talk about, man. We got some big things from last night. As we know, we had a big game five. Yeah, game five last night. Yeah, game five last night between the Dallas Mavericks and the Golden State Warriors, man, and it is what it is, man. I'm sure my man CC on here is crazy because it's amazing how Trey's not on here right after the Dallas Mavericks take this L, but it is what it is. Gotta love it. Praying for Trey while he has whatever it is he has going on. Hopefully, God sees him through whatever it is he has going on
Yes.
today, during his surgery or whatever. Good morning, Freddie. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. How you doing, man? Good morning. Joe, what up? What up, brother CNN? How you doing? How y'all doing? Good morning. So again, let's talk about last night's game. Last night's game, we had the victorious Golden State Warriors, which I myself and my man with me, my co-host here, CC, had picked Golden State to get this win over the Dallas Mavericks, and they did it in great fashion. They defeat the Dallas Mavericks 120-110. It was actually worse than that at some point in that game, but the Dallas Mavericks did make a comeback. The Warriors leading scorers were Andrew Wiggins with 18 points, 10 rebounds. He had a double double. Draymond Green had 17 points, 6 rebounds, 9 assists, 1 assist away from a double double. Kevin Looney, remember that name. Kevon Looney. Remember that name. 10 points, 18 boards. Yes, you heard that right. 18 boards, 4 assists. Klay Thompson, that's a bad man. 32 points, 2 rebounds, 3 assists. Steph Curry, 15 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist away from having a double double. He had 9. Jordan Poole, 16 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists. And Moses Moody had 7 points and no other stats. And then over on the Dallas Mavericks side, we had Finney Smith with 13 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists. We had Bullock with 6 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists. We had Dwight Powell, 3 points and 2 rebounds. Luka Doncic, 28 points, 1 rebound away from a double double. He had 9 rebounds, 6 assists. Jalen Bronson, 10 points, 2 rebounds, 4 assists. Spencer Dinwiddie, 26 points, no rebounds, 4 assists. Maxi Kleber, 7 points, 8 rebounds, 1 assist. Nitikalina, 6 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist. Bartons, 3 rebounds. 3 points, 1 rebound. Brown, 2 points, 1 rebound, 2 assists. And Trey Burke, 6 points, and that's all he had. What a game it is. What a game we had, Freddie, last night. So what I will come to you, Mr. CC. Tell me, what did you think about last night's game between the Golden State Warriors and the Dallas Mavericks?
It was clearly. It showed you the Golden State Warriors as a team. That's why I like. That's why I was
Good
saying.
morning, Jackie.
That's why I said Steve Kerr underrated the other day. Because of that team ball. Listen to all the names that you listed that were in double figures. That's all the starters pretty much. That's everybody stepping up, and then
Six.
the main role players stepping up as well, right? So it was only a 10-point difference on the scoreboard, but the team ball to me is what made all the difference. And the hustle
Absolutely.
of Looney, man. The hustle of Looney.
Ooh.
It was one point in that game where I thought the Dallas Mavericks would never get a rebound. you know,
Bruh, he got 4 rebounds in one possession one time. 4.
right,
I was like, this dude is unstoppable on the boards right now.
right. So
Bruh, Looney, Kevin Looney, Kevon, I keep wanting to call him Kevin. Kevon Looney, man, he was definitely the difference maker in that game. I'm not gonna lie. Don't get me wrong, him as well as Moody. Now, Moody only had 7 points, but he had some critical. Those 7 points in which he hit were critical 7 points that he brought to the table. Looney, and I said this yesterday. And correct me if I'm wrong, CC. Did I not say that we had yet to see Steph or Clay go off in any of these series like that? In
right,
any of
right.
these series like that, and Steph showed up. 8 for 16 from the 3-point line. He dropped 32
Oh yeah,
points behind the arc, bro.
that's
32
Clay.
points, CC.
Clay.
Come on, man. That man was unconscious, man. He was knocking them things down. And don't get me wrong, Steph did his part too. Of course, he got the inaugural award, the Magic Johnson Award, the first time that award has come out. And Steph Curry, congratulations to Steph for winning that award. It was well deserved. I think we all picked Steph to get that award, and he did accomplish that. But the thing about that game, man, it wasn't meant for Dallas, man. Dallas did when you got Dinwiddie and Luka both at 56 points between the two of them. 56 points between the two of them. Y'all had 110. Come on, man. Like y'all can't win like that, bro. You can't win. I mean, I'm happy for Dinwiddie because I did say at one point in time when is he gonna show up? But again, like I said, he's streaky. Sometimes you don't know when you're gonna get the 26-point Dinwiddie. You know what I'm saying? Like he hit last night. You don't know when you're gonna get him. And he showed up last night, but it wasn't enough.
Yeah, too much, too little, too late for them, man.
It really was, bro. It really was. And they just couldn't do it. And now, don't mind you, excuse me. I watched the game. I saw it. Luka did his thing. Luka, that boy can hit from anywhere on the court. The man's step back is ridiculous. Like when I say you thinking when he shoot it, you like he ain't finna make that. And sure enough, it twinges those darn nylons, bro. I mean, man, the dude is unconscious on that floor in certain areas, bro. That little corner, not the corner, but that little mid corner range, that step back he love to do, bro. Y'all got to put 2 people on him out there because he gonna knock that thing down every single time.
Oh yeah,
every single time, bro. Now the problem I have with Luka, though, CC, the problem I have with Luka. And the problem it seems that a lot of analysts have with Luka, and a lot of people talking about this in regards to Luka, is the fact of the matter is he's a lot like LeBron was when he first came in the league. And I'm gonna tell you why here in a second. And 2, the reason why I say he's like LeBron. Matter of fact, let me go ahead and tell you now why I say he like LeBron in the first. He begs for calls.
yeah.
He begs if the ball doesn't go in through the hoop, and even sometimes when it go through the hoop. He always looking at the ref.
Yeah.
If you pay attention, I watched the game, and then of course you know how the games are. It'll play. You'll watch it at its live time, and then it'll come on again later in the night, and you can watch it again, the full game or whatever. They'll show it again where you can watch the full game just in case you missed it. So I started watching it again, and I just wanted to pay attention to Luka the second time as I started watching it. This dude walks back on defense.
Yeah.
He literally, if the shot isn't made, Luka 90% of the time walks back on defense.
Yeah.
You never, only time he hustles, or I won't even say it's a hustle. The only time he runs back on defense is once a shot is made. And normally it's a shot made by him is when he runs back on defense. If he ain't made that shot, pay attention. Y'all look at it. That game it'll come on again today. Sometime you'll be able to catch it or whatever. Watch Luka. He always walks back. He always walks. He never gets back on defense. And I've stated it a million times about Luka's game. Yes, he is a force on offense, but on defense, he's baby doo-doo. He is baby doo-doo.
Oh,
that dude is trash, bro. Like, and remember, and correct me if I'm wrong, CC. Wasn't LeBron like that at first when he first came into the league?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, LeBron. Yeah,
begging for calls, always looking for a
always.
call,
Yeah.
always trying to say, come like even if he ain't saying nothing, he's always looking at the ref. Like the ref owe him something.
Oh yeah.
Luka, get back. Non-existent. Thank you, Stan.
But you're
His
absolutely
defense
right.
is non-existent. What do you think about Luka's defense and his
Well,
lackluster for getting back, helping his defensive team
well,
on on on
it was a play to me in that game that showed his effort on defense, not just the walking back and the arguing with the refs, but I think it was Wiggins. Wiggins got the ball and was going up for like a dunk or a layup or something, and Luca completely stepped out the way. And it's like, where are you going? It's like on the baseline. It's like you right there. You got to cut that baseline. I was yelling at the TV. You got to cut the baseline off. You just walked away. Like, where are you
I know
going?
exactly
The
what you're
ball
talking about.
has the ball. You walked away. It's like,
I know
yeah,
you talking about that dunk.
yeah, and you won't win
That
like
dunk when old boy thought about going up with him, and then he's still like, oh nope, let me duck. I don't want to be a poster. I don't want
but
to be a
most
poster.
but most guys in that situation, like if you take a defensive player like a Marcus Smart or somebody, they would at least try at minimum to take a charge or whatever. This guy steps all the way out of the way. Like they say, Matador defense. That's exactly what you got, and
I
you
ain't
get it
never
over and
heard that.
over with, Luka.
I ain't heard that. That's what they call him, Matt. They say he got Matador defense. I ain't never heard that. That's crazy. I ain't never heard that one. But that's exactly what it is, though. I gotta agree to. I totally agree with you. That's exactly what it looks like. Now that you said it, that's perfect. That's perfect. What it's called because he does. He steps out the way. He doesn't try and play. He doesn't hustle back. And me, if I'm Jason Kidd, bro, and don't get me wrong, listen, right, CC and everyone. This is the thing, right? I get it. A lot of times when you're ball dominant
I
and you're
see
the
you,
person
Trey.
that's yeah, you're ball dominant and you stop with the don't start. Oh look, he gonna show his ugly head. He gonna show his ugly head. Look.
Look,
Hey, I'm gonna be honest, right? When you're the ball dominant
yeah,
on 6 year olds, I feel you, Fred. I feel you, punchline. When you're ball dominant, we get it. You trying to save your legs. A lot of times when we feel like, the more legs you have on offense, the better you're able to get your shot off and be able to knock down buckets. But they need you on defense, Luke. They need you on defense. You got to be able to
yeah,
play. And Stephen A. Smith said it best today and last night. He need to get his conditioning up so you can be able to play on both sides of the ball. If you're not,
yeah.
if you're not conditioned to where you can only play one side, y'all never gonna make it again. Y'all never gonna make it to
Really.
the. And if y'all do, y'all gonna still end up like this
You
on
know,
the outside looking.
I'm just, like Steph Curry is not that widely known for defense, right?
Mm-mm,
But
mm-mm.
within the scheme of the Golden State Warriors, he can still be effective on the defensive end. If Luca learns to play within the team defense, even right,
Right,
run a man off, like get him to the baseline where you have some help, or run him towards the help.
right,
Take
right.
away a strong hand. Just simple defensive principles. He can have a little bit of impact on defense. Because like I said, Steph is showing you how to do it without being a great quote unquote defensive player, right?
Right.
But and then also when a man gets past you, why do you stop? Why do you stop? Why do you not continue to play? You can get a swipe or block anything,
From
right?
behind,
Like
all of that. Yes. Some of the
anything,
best blocks are from behind because they think they got an easy layup. And it's
right?
it's a, it's a clear block from behind. And that's the thing. Like Luca, he hasn't figured, and I blame a lot of it. I'm not gonna lie, CC. I do blame a great deal of it on the fact that he's young. We gotta keep in mind this man is under 25 years old. He's young. He's got a lot to learn. He's got a lot of growing to do in the NBA. Those are things in which you got to learn. The sooner you learn that, the better you're going to be as a player, and
But
not as just an offensive threat, but as an all around player. And
But my
he is
question
yet
is,
to do that.
why does a guy like Luca get a pass? He's been playing pro longer than anybody in the NBA.
Anybody
He's been playing pro since he was
that
like
part,
14. You know what I'm
that part,
saying? He's been
that part. You're
playing
right.
pro ball.
That you're right. You're
You know
absolutely
what I'm
now.
saying?
I can't now. You know what, CC? I can't even say nothing about that because you're absolutely right. Those foreigners overseas, they start playing pro ball way sooner than than any of the ones here in the U.S. So you're absolutely right. You would think that he'd be more mature than a lot of the American players.
Right.
You would, but I don't know. So my question is, CC, is it what's the cause? Why isn't he playing more mature, being that he has more under his more experience under his belt? What is
I
your
think it's
reasoning behind it?
I think it's just mindset right now. Like these
Okay.
skills got me here. You know,
Mm-hmm.
you see a lot with a lot of NBA players. These skills got me here. So even those that need to work on free throws, they don't put any time in the free throws, right? It's like
Mm-hmm.
this is what my offensive skill set got me here. So I'm just gonna ride with that. You know,
Mm-hmm.
let the coaches figure out how to make defense work, right? You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Like,
Right.
despite my flaws, figure it out. That was to me that was Carmelo Anthony's downfall. Never wanted to evolve into some sort of a defensive player, right?
Okay.
Just thinking that
Mm-hmm.
scoring is always going to get you there. I mean, you've seen it with certain players throughout the league. You know, it's not just exclusive to Luka, but right now, I think Luka has the most potential to run the league and
He
do
does,
something. You know,
without
uh,
question.
if he just gets a little bit better on defense. Nobody's asking him to go out there and be a Marcus Smart. You're not asking him to go out there, you know, be defensive player of the year. You know, you're just asking him, man, step up a little bit, take a charge.
Do
You
your
know,
part. Do your part.
foul somebody or something.
And this is my thing, right? I feel like you said, you hit the nail on the head, CC. If Luca could be productive on the defensive end, he could possibly be the future of the NBA. He
Right,
could possibly outshine the Zion Williams, the John Morants, because the dude is phenomenal on offense. He has to do better on deep. Once he becomes that guy, or if he ever becomes that guy, because again, we don't know. Again, he is a guy who's under 25, so he's still young. But like CC said, that doesn't give him a pass because, like CC stated, he's been playing ball way professional basketball way longer than a
right,
lot of these US players. But that's where he's lacking, and that's why they're in the position they're in at home and outside looking in. It is what it is. Joe Ross says, here's a question: do you think if he was in the league another 3 years and you give him a few more role players, would it have been a different series? What do you think about that, CC, in regards to that question?
no. This is why Golden State was on a mission to prove something. Where
Okay.
they would have took them, so where they would have took them 5, 6, 7 games, they were going to win that series. Uh, the difference being, if you notice, Golden State knows when to play together. They know when to play together. You know, they know when to take heat check shots. I mean, you're talking about an experienced team. No matter, you can't, and you got the effort. To me, it's the effort of all the players. Like everybody wanted to win. You know,
Right.
not just your superstars on the team. Everybody
Mm-hmm.
wanted to win,
Mm-hmm.
and that makes a big difference when you have especially when you have a coach that's willing to you know, let them allow the players to make those sacrifices for the team. Like, you know, like I think the funniest thing to me that shows that is that technical foul shot with Steph and Jordan Poole are like having this discussion about who's going to shoot it,
Oh,
and
who shoots the free throws? Yeah, yeah,
who's
yeah,
going to
yeah,
shoot the free throw. That
yeah, yeah,
shows you
yeah.
right there the camaraderie of the teammate
That they
and the
have.
understanding. You know, the respect levels and all that. These
Absolutely.
guys respect each other, man, and that makes a difference
I
when
believe that.
you in a locker room, or you know how it is, or when you have to do anything where it involves team. The respect of the team makes a difference. You know, I don't think Luka's
Absolutely.
teammates totally buy into him or respect him yet.
I totally agree. I can understand exactly where you're coming from. Good morning, Coach Uriah. Good morning. Good morning. He agreed with you there, CC, Coach Uriah. Bottom line, you give Luka help if he don't change his style of play, no defense, and not a really team player. And we understand that. I think it's the fact that he is in a position that he is needed for his scoring, and the organization is willing to go to or have his overlook his shortcomings. Defense. Here come Trey with this nonsense. Is it possible the others can be late bloomers?
What
No.
others?
Late bloomers how, Trey? In what way? Luca just plays, like CC said, Luca happens to play professional ball sooner. And they're able to do that overseas. But everybody knows that.
Right,
You know what I'm saying? But CC, well, all CC was saying was that why are we giving him a pass on his maturity level?
right,
Because we all know it's a mature level. You have to be able to understand, get out your head, get out these official faces, Get back on defense and play ball. Your team is out here trying to defend the 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 the, the butchering that y'all taking, and you're over here talking to the official.
Talking to
Like,
the official,
bro, get back.
laying on the court, talking to the official at
That
times, right?
part, like, dude, no one owes you anything. How can I become a guest on your program? That would be uh we're doing good. We're doing good. Yeah, get back on defense. Get back on defense. Help your team out. Be just as productive as you are on offense as you are on defense. Offensive is highlighted by the media 90% of the. You rarely see defensive highlights. Everyone knows defense was game. We do. We
Yeah, we know he
absolutely. And Steve, you're absolutely. Luca has been exposed. This is
right.
nothing new. Luca, what we know of Luca or what we saw last night of Luca is not. No one was surprised about that. No one is surprised about. See, when we'll be surprised in Luca's play is when we see Luca not block a few shots,
Yeah,
get a few charges here and there, a few steals, and not just excuse me, not just steals that passing lane steals. We talk about steals from from an
right.
actual from the player himself. You know what I'm saying? Things of that nature. Him hustling, beating everybody back on defense. That's going to surprise everybody about Luca when we see that or if that ever takes place. At this point in time, it's not there. It's not there, and they need that. Dallas needs that. No, don't get me wrong. Dallas definitely needs other role players within their organization. I will say that they are missing some key parts. They probably do until Luca figures out how to play defense. They probably need a defensive threat, without question.
Yeah,
Without question, they need a defensive threat. They need somebody who's going to get back, who's going to provide that perimeter defense, that lockdown defense in the paint. I feel like they need that because right now at this point they don't have that, and that's a huge uh Achilles heel for the defense for the Dallas Mavericks.
oh yeah. Nobody said in response to the Smith comment right there, as far as needed other people to step up. Nobody said that Luca has to do it all himself, but you have to be held accountable. Like like a lot of times when the ball's not going in the bucket, man, you got to play some defense. You got to stop the other team from scoring. If you want to get back in the game, you have to stop the other team from scoring. Even when they made their run last night and they cut it to 9,
They did.
Golden State
They
came
did.
out in the fourth quarter and pushed it back to 15 real quick
They did.
because it was no defense by the Dallas Mavericks on the other end, and a part of that is your leader. If your leader won't at least step up a little bit, man, then what you expect the other guys to do on the defensive end?
Absolutely. I'm not gonna lie. See, at the end of the third quarter, that's when Luca went. He kind of went hot. I think he dropped 3 threes in a row
Yeah,
in the end of that third, and they, like you said, they got it within 9. I was like, ooh, look like they trying to make a comeback. But like you
yeah.
said, here come the fourth, and it went right back up to 15, and they started. Golden State started pulling away again. But again, right, that's another time in which I watched Luka then wasn't making a shot in the fourth quarter. There he go walking back on defense. And everyone knows that watches basketball, that's a basketball guru that plays basketball, knows Golden State is a running team. If they get out on the run, get a fast break, they going and they going quick. Because we all know Golden State ain't a big team. They're not a big team.
No.
They're not a huge team. They're gonna try to beat you back on the other end of the court to get quick baskets.
Right.
And then not only that, we know you got 2 players, CC. You got 2 players from the Golden State Warriors that are gonna run you ragged. That's gonna run you
Right.
all over the court, bro. And that's Clay and that's Steph. If
Right.
your stamina and your endurance is not up, bro, you gonna be panting like a dog
Exactly.
on the sideline, bro. You are to sit there. Even Patrick Beverly said it today. Speed kills. Thank you, Steve. Patrick Beverly said it today. Steph Curry is probably the best basketball player who moves without the ball.
Exactly. Without the ball.
Without the ball, bro.
Without
And to
the
sit
ball.
there and run and chase a person all over the court, bro. You know how frustrating that is. and how tiring that is to be chasing somebody back to back to back every series down on defense, and then you got to go back and try and play offense.
Oh
Your
yeah.
legs are spaghetti. You have spaghetti legs. You don't even have your legs. You don't have no. Your legs are gone because you
Yeah.
done ran them off on the offensive end,
Oh yeah.
bro. Bro, that's just. Good morning, Key. Good morning. How you doing? Good morning, man. Good
Good
morning,
morning.
Trey. What you talking about? I think there are other factors too. Ultimately, Golden State is a championship caliber team, without question. Without
Yeah.
question, this is their sixth appearance in the NBA
Right.
Finals in 8 years.
Right.
8 years. So I mean, you gotta. I mean, these guys definitely have the recipe
Mhm.
for championship caliber teams. They have the recipe, but we all stated this the other day. They have pretty much the same team
Yeah.
outside of Wiggins, Poole,
Yeah.
some added addition people right here and there. But for the most part, that's the same championship team from 2018, bro.
Yep.
From 2008, that's the same team.
The core of the players, and I mean, I'm impressed the way the other players for the Warriors stepped up. As far as you would think that, especially postseason right now, you would think that Iguodala not playing would be huge for them. You know, he was on the other championship runs, but they figured out how to make that work with Poole and Wiggins and the rest of those guys. Man,
Right.
that's impressive.
It is. It is. And one of the things that was, which I think Trey spoke about the other day in regards to Jason Kidd and saying, he already felt it. And I think you even said the same thing, CC, in regards to how Jason Kidd's post conference interview was. He was sounding like he was defeated.
Yeah.
And again, he sounded as they were defeated after last night's game, and he pretty much said the exact same thing. We're happy where we are. We're happy with what we did, so forth and so on.
Mhm.
But like Shaq said it last night, Charles, Kenny, all of them said it last night. You're not guaranteed to make it there again next year.
That's
You're
what we
not.
said. Yeah.
Yep, y'all both said it. I thought so. Y'all both. You're not guaranteed. Y'all sitting here acting like, we came up short. We'll be back. Oh no, no,
Right.
no, no. Oh no, no, no. The Western Conference is going to be totally different next year, bro.
Things.
Because there's a lot of
Yeah.
teams that's going to come back that didn't have their full strength team. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people think the Clippers going to be something. A lot of people say they barely got away from Phoenix this season. Phoenix is definitely going to be better. Just come on, man. Y'all not guaranteed. Making it to the Western Conference Final is not an easy feat.
No.
You're not automatically just a guarantee because you made it this year that you're gonna make it again, bro.
Right.
Know that. Know that.
Right.
So stop, Jason. Stop making it seem like, oh, that was okay. Yeah, we should be happy. No, bro. You shouldn't be happy. Yeah, it's okay that y'all made it good. Fine and dandy. But you got some work to do, bro.
Yeah.
Y'all definitely got some work to do. And
It's gonna.
it showed.
It's gonna be interesting to see what pieces they move, and what pieces they get back in return to help the deficiencies of that defense that Luka plays that Luka doesn't play. How they go,
Right.
how they gonna put people in there, man. That's all I'm looking at is what are they going to be their next moves? Who can they possibly bring in? It'll be a free agent, or are they going to try to do it with a draft pick? But you gotta get some defense out there.
And who would you say, CC? Who could you see possibly coming over to the Dallas Mavericks and possibly giving them that edge defensively to help them get past the Western Conference Finals if they make it back to the Western Conference
I
Finals?
mean,
Who
if
could
they
do
make
that?
it back, if they could,
Right.
I think like it depends on. To me, it depends on what the Lakers do. If they're willing to give up AD, I would say get AD. I would say
Mm.
he's hurt a lot, but hey, when he's on the court, he's very valuable, and that defense that changes everything at the rim right there.
Mm-hmm.
We mentioned before Drummond, if he's
Yep.
available. That's a guy that'll he'll get his points off the glass. You don't have to run offensive sets for him and things like that. But he's a
Mm-hmm.
go getter on the defensive end. Players like that is who they should look. Or players similar to that is who they should look to.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They should look for someone like that.
Okay. Okay. And I like that. I like that. We definitely know they need a defensive presence. We definitely know that. Even Patrick Beverly said said this morning that excuse me the Dallas Maverick he was basically telling Mark Cuban, you got to spend some money, bro. He
Right.
said Golden State is one of the richest NBA teams in the league. He said
Yeah.
he told Mark Cuban, you got to spend some money, bro, if you're trying to get past the Western Conference Finals. And time is now. He said, time is
Yeah.
now. He said, Mark Cuban, spend some money, bro. Spend some money. You're gonna have to get come up out your pockets, get somebody defensively to help Luka because he's lacking in that area, and you're gonna need that defensive presence. And I totally agree with him, man. We've all said it. Everyone's saying it. It's definitely not new news to anyone that that's their Achilles heel, and therefore that's why they sitting where they sit. Um, moving right along, we know tonight is game what? What was game 6? Game 6
Six.
tonight.
Game 6 tonight.
Game, game 6 tonight between the Boston Celtics and the Miami Heat. Boston can clinch and head on over to the finals if they get the win tonight, because we all know Boston leads the series 3-2 with the win the other night. Um, it's a huge game for the Heat as well as Boston because if Boston can't close out tonight, we know there will be a game 7, which will be in Miami. And with that being said, that means that's an extra game that they have to play. That means that's one less day that they get the rest to, or whoever it is that ends up, if it does go game 7, whoever, that's one less day they have an opportunity to rest while Golden State is sitting back with their
Ready,
hands
right?
on their head, leaning back, just waiting. Just wait. But Draymond Green was asked last night by Shaq Diesel. He said, and I quote, "Who do you think y'all will play in the NBA Finals?" Draymond Green answer was, "It's not who I think, it's we will play." And he stated, "Boston." What's your thoughts, CC?
I said Boston. I think Boston's going to wrap it up tonight. We can say that it's a. I like that you say there'll be a game 7. It's a big business. I don't think so. I think Boston is about their business. I think they're going to come out. And the Heat got to. Let's just face it. The Heat got to. If they can't find scoring, they're not going to win. Somebody has to put the ball in the bucket at some point. You can play all the great defense you want, but hey, if we run it, if we run a 1-on-1 and we go into 5, all I have to do is get one more point than you to make it to 5. No matter how many shots we miss, no matter what we do, I just have to get one more point than you. So it's going to come down to, man, can they put the ball in the bucket? Can the Heat put the ball in the bucket?
That's it. On Boston's court.
Right.
On Boston's court.
You have no choice but to put the ball in the bucket now.
Yeah, ain't no choice, bro. CC, I'm with you. Time is now.
But
time
you notice how they already got excuses. The Heat already have excuses as well. Everybody's hurt.
What do you mean? Oh yeah, they
everybody's
hurt.
Jimmy Butler must be really ailing because he was 4 for whatever the other day, and
he was
for whatever in the other game. His injury must really be getting to him. Hey, Jimmy, check his record, man. He does this periodically where he has those games where where his shooting is poor. He didn't make his fame off making buckets all the time, right? As far you call him Jimmy Buckets because he will get you buckets most of the time when needed. But sometimes he does this where he misses shots. The man is just missing shots right now. Find the range, put the ball in the bucket from that mid range, and they might be all right. But I think the Celtics, they're like Golden State to me of the East right now, where the team, they have a little bit more on the team side. Williams in the middle, Harford. Those guys are playing, and they know when to put the ball. They know how to get more buckets than the Heat.
Right. I totally agree with you. I've said it from the beginning of this series that I felt like Boston was going to win this series, especially like I said tonight, being that this game is in Boston. I just don't think Miami has enough. I do agree. I do understand that Miami do have a lot of injuries. They are banged up, but they got to dig deep if they plan on making it a 7-game series. They got to dig deep and find some within them to come out and play the best ball that they can play and take the game, take the series back home and try and win it at home. It's going to be a difficult task. It's going to be a very difficult task to win on that Boston floor. And I don't think they're going to be able to do it. But we'll see. We will see tonight. That game is tonight. Boston is hosting the Miami Heat with a 3-2 lead. And like I said, Boston can close it out tonight. And if Boston does close it out, They'll be resting. Game one of the NBA Finals is June 2nd, next Thursday.
June
Um,
2nd. Yeah.
June 2nd. Yep, next Thursday. And we're just gonna see, man. They will ask, or a lot of the analysts were asked, who did they think? Even Stephen A. He said he had picked Golden State beginning of the season to win the whole NBA Finals. He's still sticking with that, but Stephen A. did say, and this is why I'm mentioning Stephen A. in regards to this, is because he said he's sticking with Golden State. However, he's worried because Boston. We spoke about it briefly yesterday. CC, we talking about three bigs versus we talking a big three versus big three. It, it's actually four over in Golden State if you really think about it.
Right.
Because you really gotta add Jordan Poole, man. You
Right.
cannot not add Jordan Poole. You really can't. He's a huge factor of that team. You cannot. But you got Smart, and then you really can't. And you can't. It's really unfair because then you can't leave out Wiggins either.
Right.
You really can't leave out Wiggins either. So I mean, it is what it is. I mean, it's going to be a great matchup. We spoke about it briefly yesterday. The matchup, and they talked about it all this morning and last night. The matchup is going to be phenomenal. That's probably I look at this and I hope it comes to pass. I look at this being possibly one of the greatest finals to ever be between these two teams right now, coming up. If Boston goes in, now if Miami were to win the series, which I don't see that happening,
Mhm.
if Miami was to win the series, I definitely don't see that game going seven. I mean, series
No.
going seven. I
No.
do not see that series going seven. If Miami were to actually get in and play Golden State for play Golden. I feel you, understand. Play Golden State for the finals. I do not see that going seven. Um, but if it is Boston, definitely 7 game series without question. What's your thoughts, CC? If it's
Um,
Boston in Golden State,
I think early in the season I did pick Golden State to make it out of the West. But I remember I had initially picked on this show. I actually picked Milwaukee to win it all when we were doing that,
yeah,
right?
right.
Uh, but now I think like Golden State, one half of what I originally picked. I think they're a better team. But going seven, I say 6 or 7. I think Golden State can finish them in 6. I think
Oh
Boston
wow.
can extend. I think Boston can make it a 7 game series.
Okay.
But because it wears on their size will wear down the Golden State Warriors. Golden State will try to end it quick. But I think that Boston's length, their size, the only thing that I would question is what are they going to do with Al Horford in that in a game against those guys where they really have no one to match up with him, right? As far
Mm.
as and he's not the quickest or the fastest out there. Golden State likes to get them up, man. They like to run.
We
I
talked
think
about it already.
I
Yep.
think that'll be their. I think that'll be Golden State's advantage is Al Horford either in that pick and roll, trying to come off and Draymond set that screen and then that handoff to Steph or somebody, him having a switch. Al Horford having a switch onto one of them is going to be way different than switching in the Miami series and stuff like that. So I think that you got to look at what are they going to do with Al Horford? Will his minutes be cut? Will they give
Mhm.
what's his name? Will Williams get more minutes? I think if you're the Celtics, you got to give that what's his name, Grant Williams or whatever.
Grant
I
Williams.
think I think he should get more minutes in a series like that.
Okay. You think
Yeah.
he's this? So who in that series, if it ends up being Boston and Golden State, who do you feel would be the difference maker for the Boston Celtics to be able to get the win over, or to be able not necessarily get the win, but to be able to cause or force 7 game series? Who's that common factor or common denominator that's going to be that force for Boston to help them get to that point?
Robert Williams.
Robert Williams. Okay.
Robert Williams, him matching up with the Kevon Looney, man. Him and Looney.
Okay.
That's
Hmm.
going to be, two hustlers out there, scrapping for
Hmm.
rebounds and stuff like that. Uh, can Robert Williams, is he going to be healthy enough to hold his own, and make Looney a non-factor on the glass, man. Keep him off the
Mhm.
glass. You know what I mean? Especially on
Right, right,
those offensive rebounds. Keeping Looney off the offensive glass, man. I
right.
think Williams is going to be real important doing that. So because you saw last night, if you keep giving Golden State the ball, shots are going to start falling. You can't give them second chances, right?
You cannot.
You got to hold
You
them to one
cannot.
and done some way, and I think Williams is going to be a big part of trying to do that.
Okay. Okay. Now we do know, like you said, we do know that Game 6 is tonight between Boston and in Miami. Just like last night, they had the Magic Johnson Award that was awarded to Steph Curry. So tonight's winner, of course, is the Larry Bird Award. So who do you feel, CC, is the top candidate to receive the Larry Bird Eastern Conference Finals award between the two teams?
Isn't it funny that the Larry Bird Award is going to actually go to a Celtic? I mean, just think about that for a minute. My son, stimulate your mind to that. What I'm
Yeah.
saying? The first Larry Bird Award is going to go to a Celtic.
It is funny, ironic. It is ironic. Yes.
Yeah, but I think I think Jason Tatum. I think, and the only reason I say Tatum, I mean, it should be Williams, but it's a
Mm.
league that looks at numbers.
Mm-hmm.
And then Williams did miss that one game, but
Mm-hmm.
it's going to be Jason Tatum. He's been, as far as offensively, he's been the most consistent Celtic. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so I think they'll just go with him just because and let's face it, sometimes media, everybody, when you pick a favorite, and you want that person to be that person, and he's that person right now on the Boston Celtics that everybody said this guy is the next whatever. So yeah, it's gonna be Jason Tatum.
So let me ask you this: why is it not Jaylen Brown?
Well, Brown, I don't know. For me, too many of those 5-20 games. Not just this
Mm-hmm.
series, but not enough. It's one thing to say that you play defense and you do all this, but I don't
Mm-hmm.
remember. I don't remember coming from the other eras. Not to compare. You had to compare a little bit. I don't. I don't ever remember Scottie Pippen having any problems putting the ball in the bucket after playing defense on the other end of the court, right? You know,
Yeah.
I don't remember. It's so much. Oh, they're being taken out. Because they're playing defense. No, if you are a so-called two-way player, then two-way
That
players mean
part.
you can get it done on both ends of the court. So,
That part.
Jaylen Brown, he has to step it up majorly, in my mind, in order for them to even advance. If they want to try to win the championship, he's got to get rid of those 5-20 games, man, and start putting the ball in the bucket more efficiently.
Okay. Okay. That's fair. That's definitely fair. Um. Okay. So to be devil's advocate, then why not Marcus Smart?
He hasn't played much,
Okay.
game here, game there. Now I will say that if Marcus Smart had played this whole series, then I'm going. I'm riding with defensive player of the year.
Yeah.
Changing the games, but but he's not out.
Yeah.
He hasn't been out there enough.
Enough.
Yeah,
Okay.
enough.
That's fair. That's fair. That's fair. I totally and don't get me wrong. I totally agree. It would definitely be Jason Tatum. Like you say, it would be. It's ironic that the Boston Celtic, that the Larry Bird Award is going to a Boston Celtic. Um, yeah, but Jason Tatum, yeah, he's been the most consistent on the team. Out of everyone else, in which we spoke about Marcus Smart as well as Jaylen Brown and stuff like that, he has been the most consistent for the most part out of those players. So it'll be well deserving. I would be surprised if it is anyone else outside of Jason Tatum. But yeah, I totally agree with you on that. So moving on in the NBA, I don't know if you heard. I'm sure you have. CC Zion Williams was cleared with no restrictions. So my question to you, CC, and everyone watching, does this make the Pelicans instant contenders for next year's playoffs?
No,
Okay. And I kind of feel like why you already said no, because just the same reason why we said Dallas is not guaranteed to make it back next year. But go ahead, CC.
I think it's gonna make. I think it's gonna be interesting to watch. It's gonna make the team good to watch, right? If he can stay healthy. That's my thing. Is
That's the
how
key.
long are you going to have that? He hasn't proven
Yeah.
that he can stay healthy. Hopefully, he will be healthy, but it's not going to make them contenders because he hasn't played in how long, and it's going to take him a minute to get
Been so
used to his
long, I forgot.
teammates. You
Yeah,
know
I
what I mean?
forgot.
He
Right.
hasn't played with any. He hasn't played with CJ McCollum.
See, yep.
He hasn't played that many games with Brandon Ingram. Like the
Right.
players on his team right now, he hasn't really just familiarity, getting used to setting you up in your spots and things like that. He's gonna have to work his way in. Hopefully, Zaya is one of those hard workers. I don't know his work ethic or whatever, but I'm just saying. Hopefully, he's willing to put in the work in the off season, come in, and then he's another one of those like Luka and James Harden to me right now, man. Conditioning, get into shape,
Oh.
get into shape. If
Yeah,
you're gonna, I mean,
they've been talking about his conditioning. They have.
right? Because if you're gonna be that explosive and you're gonna be that good, you use a lot of your leg power, your knees, man. You got to get in shape. Conditioning is gonna be huge with Zion. If he comes in shape, man, I'm not even saying lose weight or anything like that. I'm just saying in the best shape for his physical frame. Everybody's
Mhm.
different. Charles Barkley played with that burly frame.
Right.
He didn't start breaking down until what 13, 14, years into his
Season
career.
in.
It
Yeah.
started taking its toll. Whereas
Mhm.
Zion's on the other end, where it's already, he's more explosive than Charles Barkley going to the basket.
Right.
But if you're going to make those explosive plays, your body has to be able to handle it, and he just hasn't proven that he's going to take care of his body enough to be effective.
Mm, mm. And I, you know what? I have to agree with you, CC. Um, we saw, what about a month or two ago that we saw Zion was practicing and was getting some time on the court and putting up balls. They were showing him doing 360 dunks, between the leg dunks, this stuff and that stuff. We saw all of that, and that's cool, fine, and dandy. That means he has his legs up under him again. However, we didn't see him running up and down the court.
No,
It's a whole different ball game when you're
exactly.
running up and down the court. You got to play defense on one end and then try and play offense, like we just stated a minute ago about those two other players, in which we mentioned Luca and a couple of other people, where you have to play on both ends of the court. So you jumping out the gym on offense, that's cool. It looks good. It put fans in the seats. However, it doesn't get you, as you see in Luca, it doesn't get you to the finals. Because if you
Right.
can't play defense, like you said, you don't have the stamina, you don't have the conditioning to be able to run up and down that court the way you need to. All that high flying stuff don't matter. All that high flying stuff does not matter. Now, does that make them playoff contenders? Like CC said, time will tell. As CC stated, he has not played with CJ yet. So they have to build a chemistry. Him and CJ have to build a chemistry together. CJ knows nothing about how Zion plays because he hasn't had that opportunity to be on the court at the same time with Zion. Now, during the offseason, maybe they can get some time together, link up, play a little bit, learn each other's gameplay, learn how they play with one another, and be able to gel together. And maybe they can try and make a better team. We do know CJ was a huge help to the Pelican team with Zion on the bench, though. That's the difference. He was a huge help with Zion on the bench, though.
Right.
We just saw what happens when you bring a superstar to another superstar team when we saw with the Sixers and Harden going over to the Sixers with Embiid. Now, my thing is, some people may not say, and I'm gonna ask you, CC, is CJ McCollum considered a superstar? Because we know he played with Dame time. We know he was kind of like a humble. He was like a what's old boy out in Milwaukee. He was somewhat similar to um Middleton. A Middleton in regards to he was like a quiet assassin. CJ McCollum can ball. The boy can ball. But do we consider CJ an all-star player, CC, or not?
We know he
Or
has those kind of skills to be an all star. I think he gets slept on, and I think a part of it was playing in the backcourt with Dame Lillard.
mm,
They said it's funny to me. They were saying how Dane Lill was so clutch, but his team has never went anywhere. How clutch is that? That's just my thing. You're not that clutch, bro. You
Yeah.
ain't going nowhere. You know what I'm saying? So, I
Right.
mean, but you know what I'm saying. So like each person has their own narrative, and I think if CJ was it he was another one of those that stayed injured a lot at certain parts of his career that probably slowed down his rise to the superstardom. But I think he'll be back. He's still, he's not that old. He has a few
Right.
good years. I think he'll prove what he is playing in New Orleans. He'll show what he is.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you don't feel you don't feel he's a superstar?
Not a
You don't
superstar.
go out.
He's an
Okay.
all-star caliber player, but not a superstar. He's not on,
Okay.
he's not on that level of what you consider superstars, right? But
Okay.
all-star, yeah.
Okay. Okay. And that's fair. That's fair. A lot of people may feel like y'all got to keep it in mind. Y'all got to keep it that all star, superstar is two different things.
Yeah.
All star, superstar is definitely two different things. Um, and CC definitely feels as though he's an all star, but not a superstar. And so all star means to me, all star means that you're a person who's on the team who definitely contributes a great deal to your organization, to your team, to be able to make a run. A superstar is a little bit above that. You're the dude carrying the team. You're the dude that everybody knows that you're that guy for that team. And CJ wasn't that dude. Definitely out there with Dame. He was definitely the Robin without question. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Out there and it's crazy to say, but it's almost fair to say that he was a superstar in New Orleans because Zion was on the bench.
Right,
He
because
was
Zion.
carrying that team. Yes, he
We know
was
who's the
carrying that.
projected superstar of that team, and it's Zion, right?
Right.
That's
Right.
my point.
Absolutely. Yep.
That's my point.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So yes, and that's why he was able to fulfill that role because Zion was on the bench. Now, again, like we say, when Zion comes back, we're gonna see who takes over the superstar role. Does Zion recreate or reinvent himself as being the superstar for that team? Or does CJ McCollum have him take a step back and be like, no, look, Zion, I'm gonna be the Batman, you be the Robin, we still gonna be a tandem, we still gonna be that team. Let me do this, let us do this together, and we can maybe take this team deep into the playoffs, maybe to the finals. But that is yet to be determined. We have a whole season to see. I know a lot of people, I know the Pelican fans are waiting to see them two on the court at the same time to see how they play together and see if they're able to make that happen. I'm looking forward to it. I really am. I personally thought, um, and I don't know if CCU was able to chime in on this or like a month or two ago when we first saw Zion on the court being able to take shots. But I was one of the main people personally saying initially that I felt like if Zion is doing all of what he's doing, these dunks between the legs, jumping out the gym, doing all this stuff, I was one of the ones that said I felt like Zion should have been playing then. I felt like he should have not necessarily got a huge amount of minutes. However, I felt like he should have got some minutes at that time when they were showing all the things in which Zion was doing at that time frame. Now, don't get me wrong. I do understand he was coming off an injury and some other things that he had going on with him. But we're looking at people like Steph, who had broke his hand. We're looking at Clay, who had major surgery and it was back. Like we had other injuries in the NBA and players that came back prior, had injuries after Zion and they came back and played. Where this dude had his injury and still was sitting out. So I felt like the New Orleans Pelicans should have gave him an opportunity, should have gave him an opportunity to get on the floor and maybe try and build a chemistry this year going into next year to see if that was something that could be, solidified within the org. But it is what it is. They didn't do it. Hey,
Yeah.
who am I?
But I had
Who am I?
disagreed with that. I remember that conversation,
Oh, okay.
discussion, and I had disagreed with it just off the fact that he has stayed injured so much. Man, this is a guy that you expect him to be your franchise, so give him every
Mhm.
opportunity to heal. In comparison to that, man, I look at I look at the whole Kawhi Leonard situation sometimes, man, and I see that,
That's
you
him
know,
too. Yep.
you know, I mean, this guy is great when he's on the court, and no doubt any team that he's on is a championship caliber team. Uh,
Hmm.
but sometimes you have to like, man, what takes him so long to come back from some of these injuries, right? Like he missed the whole season. Um, whereas
He
other
did.
guys, whereas other guys have made it back from that same injury, he's missed the whole season. I think it's
Hmm.
but what do you say to Kawhi? You say, hey, hey, you can go or whatever. You saw how that worked out with San Antonio, right? They said he could go.
Hmm.
He said no. Then they ended up
Yep.
uh, losing real bad. They had to trade him, right? And then he only
Right.
won the championship in Toronto. So
Mhm.
uh,
Yeah.
I think because of the Kawhi Leonard effect, uh, ownership and GMs and stuff, man, the front offices and stuff err on the side of caution when it comes to these guys. Especially Zaya, who's projected to be like the next phenomenon in the game, dunking wise, playing. Man, you gotta if he's already coming off the injured list, I don't think that playoff run. I think they have to say how far are we really going, and then what can he really give us? We all know we've already said that he probably wasn't in the best of shape to play 94 feet. So you know,
Mm.
uh, let him get totally healthy, then we'll be ready.
Okay. Okay. I feel you. I feel you on that. I feel you on that. I definitely feel you on that. Again, for you Pelican fans out there that's watching and everything like that, man. I know y'all excited, eager to see that tandem be put on the court and see how they come out and how they fare against the other teams out in the East or out in the West. But
Oh yeah.
we'll see. We'll see. We'll definitely see. Well, moving on, man. We're gonna get on off on in this NFL, man. Let's get it. Let's get it. Well,
Oh
I
yeah.
know you and Trey talked about it. I had to get off early yesterday. I know y'all spoke probably briefly about the Colin Kaepernick tryout or workout with the Vegas Raiders. We all know that the Vegas Raiders allowed Colin Kaepernick workout session, which happened on Wednesday. A lot of the reporters are saying that, and the analysts are saying that the workout went well. The team is saying they like what they saw in his arm strength and his mobility and things of that nature in regards to Colin Kaepernick. However, they have yet to make any type of decision and have yet to tell anyone what their decision is on Colin Kaepernick. Is that a sign, CC, in regards to their positioning on Colin Kaepernick?
Yeah, I think the stall. Anytime you stall is like, yeah, something. Something's not right there. Um,
Mm-hmm.
they can say all these great things. Oh, it was good. It was a good workout. He showed some skills. He did, but you still got to think. It's a team. It's a team to think about. It's a business. All those factors go in, and the guy hasn't played in 6 years, man. Like,
That's
um,
a long time too. 34, 35 years old, I think he is now.
yeah, the guy hasn't played in 6 years. I mean, and this is football. This is
Right,
football. This is, I mean, no disrespect to the other sports, man, but this is
right,
football.
right.
Full
One of the
contact.
most cool,
You know,
yeah, the most, yeah, yeah, yeah,
I mean,
that part.
grueling on the body, all that stuff, and you haven't played in 6 years. So I think that's the stall. I think the stall is not whether he has some skills left. I think it's just, man, we got to weigh it against. Hey, he hasn't played in 6 years, and what if we really need him? Need him? I mean, do you feel what I'm saying? How much can he
Right.
give us? How much can he contribute if something happens to Carr, or if even if he's not the second string quarterback? What if he's third?
Hmm.
What happens if
Hmm.
the second string goes down? You have to factor those things in. What can he
Hmm.
give us?
Hmm.
So I mean, I like the move that they gave him a shot, but really you got to wait that 6 years not playing. That's a long time in football.
So let me ask you this, CC. Do you feel as though they did it? Because again, keep in mind, everyone, we like CC said, you cannot ignore the fact that that Colin Kaepernick has not played in 6 years. Do you think or do you feel as though they did this in regards to giving Colin Kaepernick an opportunity to come out and work out? Do you think this was a way to kind of hush all the hoopla and just a publicity type stunt to say, all right, look, we're gonna let him work out and then y'all leave it alone? Don't nobody say nothing else about it. It's done. We gonna let him work out. So y'all can't say he didn't get a chance to work out because he has worked out for other teams before. But I think he worked out a few months ago actually, and we didn't hear anything. Do you think this is another ploy for people to say, okay, we give him another workout so it could shut up everyone about him not getting the opportunity to get back in the NFL or even get a workout so that they can just shut everybody up?
No, as I said yesterday, I think the Raider organization, because of who they are, this
Hmm.
was any other team, then I would probably say so. But this is the Raiders organization, and we know that they have been supporters since Al Davis's reign. They've been supporters of diversity in the league and all those kinds of things. So I think they genuinely are giving them a shot. I think Mark Davis, the owner, said it best as far as they're actually trying to see what the guy has. Uh, like I said, the Raiders' reputation uh, on being diverse, on pushing for minority, leaderships and things like that. Um, I don't think it's a stunt with them. Uh,
Hmm.
I think they're really, actually, honestly, if anything, I think they're just tired of teams not giving them a shot. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Saying that they're going to break up that whole owners thing where, hey, this guy's out. Break all that up and actually give him a shot. I said it yesterday. The only thing I wish is that if it was earlier, not 6 years later, right? I
Hmm.
mean, this should have been done, years ago, in my opinion.
Okay. 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 And I totally agree, man. I was always that guy that felt like Colin Kaepernick was uh uh definitely mistreated. It was because of this guy's beliefs. He had been blackballed from a game in which he loved to play. They didn't have really a reason outside of him kneeling during the national anthem. Um, to have this guy not play in the NFL because you're not going to tell me there's 32. I think who else? Someone else said that. I think it might have been Stephen A. or a few critics, sport analysts has said there's not at the time when it first happened. It wasn't 32 quarterbacks in the league that was better than Colin Kaepernick.
Right.
There wasn't. So there was no way that he should not have still been in the league and possibly still in the league to this day. Um, I do feel like he can still play. I've seen a couple of the one I didn't see the most recent one, for the Raiders, but the one he did about a couple of months ago, I got an opportunity to see the portion of his workout, and he does look like he still have it for him being out the league for 6 years. But again, like you said, 6 years, you ain't have nothing else to do if that was your hunger and trying to get back into the league was to all you had to do was work out. There was
Oh, yeah.
no injuries to worry about, nothing of that. All you had to do was work out conditioning, work out your passing, work out your fundamentals, your all of that. That's all you had to look forward to. So yeah, he's preserved himself, I guess is a good way to say it,
Yes.
um, for those 6 years and to possibly get back in the league. Now, like you with the pause from the Raiders, we all know sometimes I can say um um when I was still playing football and still playing full contact, I was at the age, I was probably in my mid 30s, from probably around Kaepernick's age when I was still trying to play a little bit of semi-pro full contact, and I went out and worked out one time for a team, an upcoming team that had just started out out here in the Texas area, and we had a full workout. I went out there and worked out, and unfortunately, during the gauntlet drill. And I don't know if y'all know, for those that don't know the gauntlet drill for the wide receivers, where you run through like 6 or 7 quarterbacks, and they throw the ball to you from both sides of but from the left and the right, and then at the end you make a cut up the field and they throw you a deep pass. Well, I went through that gauntlet and did well, pretty well through that gauntlet. And as I went to go cut up the field to go down for the fly route, I turned my ankle. And when I turned my ankle, when I turned it bad,
Mm.
and it swelled up and everything and all that good stuff and whatever. And right after that, right after that, they gave us a break. That was the biggest mistake they could have done for me, because as you know, when you take a break and you don't continue to run on it, the swelling gets worse. It's harder to walk on it. and it's just not a good feeling. But even still, I still worked out for the rest of that workout, and they how they did it, they put everybody in the stands. If they called your number, you was cut. So we all sitting in the stands, they calling numbers. They didn't call my number. I still was on the field, and we did a few more workouts or whatever, however. And then after that, they was like, all right, um, the workout was over. They say, look, well, we'll give you a call. If we give you a call, that means we want to work you out again. Went home, whatever, however. Want to say some weeks passed, and I never got a call. Never got a call. And I'm like you, like I'm thinking, okay, well, if you don't hear nothing, that normally means it's a bad thing. That means you didn't do good enough to get to receive a call. So I really didn't. After a couple of weeks, I thought about it. I was like, oh, okay, I guess obviously I didn't make it, and I blamed a bit of it on my turned ankle. But then one day I did receive a call, and they was like, hey, we want you to come back out and try out again. And I was surprised because when they called, I got the phone call. I was like, hello. And they was like, yeah, this is Mr. Davis. Yeah, this him. So you tried out for Syntax Berkeley? Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Because it was a young lady. I was like, yes. She's like, well, the coaches liked you. We like for you to come back on the work on another tryout, such and such a day. Can you make it? Oh, of course. I'm there. I'm there. I'm there. And went out there again. And they did the same thing. If they called your number, you got cut. And I made it through that one again. But unfortunately, I didn't get another call after that. But it was just something that I was excited about and privileged to be able to do. It was fun. Um, but I do know, like Kaepernick. I know the feeling in which he's feeling right now. I can say that I've been through that. I know how it feels to. And it's today's only Friday. It was just Wednesday. It's still early. They still doing. They're still doing. What is it? Voluntary OTAs. So it's plenty of time for him to still get contacted. I'm like you though. I do feel as though other teams should work him out because I still feel like, excuse me, even if he isn't a starter for any team out there, for the 32 teams that are out there, I do feel like he could be someone's backup who could be very productive for some teams out there. I do feel like he has enough. From what I've seen, again, these workouts, they're not in pads. You know what I'm saying? There's no rush on him. There's not no big lineman chasing him. None of that. These are regular workouts in street clothes. Him throwing the ball to people in which he know, stuff like that. So it's a different ball game once you put on them pads. You get behind it. That's weight added to you. That's a lot more heat brought to you. There's just a lot more when you compared to in a uniform and out of uniform. But I still feel like he's able. I still feel like he has the capabilities of being somebody's backup,
Oh, no
and
doubt.
possibly working in his way up to possibly being a starter. You know what I'm saying? Somewhere. And I'm wishing him the best. I do. I wish him the best. I hope he's able to get back into the game. I do. I really do. Because again, I feel like the reason why he's not was was very unprofessional of the league for
Right.
him doing that, for them doing that. And I think he definitely should be have that opportunity. Um, so mad shouts out to Colin for getting that workout, and hopefully things work out for Colin.
And I want to
Um,
say this. I want to say this
Go ahead.
again. Like I want to say this as far as it shows you sometimes that we as a nation, we as a people need a lot of work, man. Because you look at what happened to Kaepernick for taking a knee, and then you look at the Deshaun Watson situation, and you say,
Mm,
man, you know what I'm saying? You say, man,
right,
all this bro did was take a knee, bro. And that
right.
was and that was
Good
enough to
point,
get him.
CC.
That was enough to get him out of there, right? Uh,
Right. Good
so
point, CC.
like when you stick with that whole fairness thing, it's got to start evening up with the fairness.
That's a good point. And we all heard about how these victims from Deshaun Watson feel about Deshaun Watson getting this major contract over in Cleveland. Yet we got a man who just took a knee and can't even get on the team. But this guy's getting
Right.
signed for millions of dollars to play, and he's got these 22 um accusations against him,
Right.
and he's getting I totally forgot about that. CC, you're right. That right there is an eye opener. If
Yeah.
nothing else, man, that is a huge eye opener because I know those 22 women who had those accusations against Deshaun. I know they're looking like, wow, y'all letting this guy still play ball, but you got a guy over here who was who was supporting, you know, black lives and supporting the fact that black
Right.
lives matter. And he can't even get in the league. Can't even
Right.
get back in the league. Like, come on, bro. How does that not make a difference? That is huge though, CC. I'm glad you brought that up, man. I'm really glad you brought that up because that is a major factor and we got to do better, man. That does raise a lot of eyebrows and they need to, yeah, man. I'm glad you said that. So we talked about it. I know we talked about it not yesterday because I wasn't on here for football portion, but on Wednesday we talked about OTAs. They didn't want Vic back either. They didn't. They
Yeah.
didn't. You're right, Andre. They didn't. They didn't want Vic back because, and you mind you, man. This is again. They didn't want Vic back. This is. I'm glad you brought that up. Punchline.
Yeah.
Vic was a, the reason why he got pushed out the league, of course, is because of with the dog fighting, and he
Yes.
he even went to prison. Went to prison for that. Yet and still, they let him back in the league
Okay.
again. Let him back in the league. Vic did come back in the league because he played for my Philadelphia Eagles. Came back in the league and played well. We no and please no one please don't misconstrue. We're not comparing Vic to Kaepernick. However,
Right.
Vic was convicted and served time and was able to get back in the league. This man, Colin Kaepernick, did nothing of that nature. He
Nothing.
didn't break anybody's laws. No one. He didn't break not one law. But this man can't get back on the field. Come on, man.
I
Come on, man. Think
mean, that's
about
all I
that.
was saying is, you know,
Think about that, man. Think about
yeah,
that.
you know.
That's crazy.
And a shout
Um,
out to we mentioned Mike Vick, man. A shout out to the Eagles organization and Andy
allowing him,
Reid. And Andy
Andy Reid.
Reid, you know,
Yes, sir. Yes,
Andy
sir.
Reid for believing in the bro and giving him a shot, man. No
That's
doubt,
right.
Andy Reid.
Please, no doubt, man. I say that part, man, because big shout out because he did. He gave him an opportunity. Despite the fact of what happened in his past, he knew he made a mistake. He owned up to his mistake.
Right,
And Michael Vick owned up to his mistake. He said he did wrong, and he had the opportunity to be able to play the game he loved once again. Yet and still, Colin Kaepernick, there's nothing to apologize for. Colin Kaepernick has no reason to apologize.
right,
He done nothing wrong. He just stood by his beliefs
right,
and chose to make a gesture and therefore cost him his career. And that's sad. That's very sad, man. That's sad. But moving right along, like I was saying, we talked about OTAs on Wednesday, um, and they were saying Lamar, not Lamar. Yeah, Lamar Jackson is missing in OTAs in Baltimore. We spoke about that, like I said, on Wednesday in regards to these are um the OTAs right now are what's the word I'm looking for? I just said it a minute ago. Voluntary.
yeah, Bob.
Voluntary OTAs. OTAs and voluntary. You don't necessarily have to be there for OTAs right now. But here in the upcoming weeks, the ones are mandatory about to come up in about a week or two in June. That's when everybody is supposed to be at the mandatory OTAs. So my question to you, CC, Lamar being out there, we talked about uh Aaron Rodgers not being there. We talked about Tom Brady, the GOAT. We talked about Kyler Murray. We talked about Debo Samuels. We talked about what's his name from the Rams,
Aaron Donald.
Aaron Donald.
Yeah,
All these guys. Now Lamar Jackson has been cited to not being at the OTAs. Does this cause a problem, being that Lamar is not at OTAs and he no longer has downtown Hollywood Brown as his one of his key receivers? Does this cause a ruffle within the offensive uh, part of their team?
well, right now, just because it's voluntary, I'm gonna say no. We'll see what happens with the mandatory because
Mm.
we know he got this whole contract thing You know,
That part.
he has this whole contract thing to work out. So we'll see if it affects the mandatory trainings, right?
Mm-hmm.
The mini camp
Mm-hmm.
and stuff like that. But right
Minicamp.
now,
Right. Right.
I think it's only a big deal for Baltimore because he hasn't missed one since he's been in the NFL. So
Right.
he shows up voluntary or not, which always shows his work ethic. But I wouldn't read much into it. Baltimore fans don't read much into it. The young man is just trying to figure out his contract right now, which way he wants to go with that. Y'all should be fine before the season starts. He'll be there. He'll be there. I think he'll be there mandatory mini camps and stuff like that.
Okay. Okay. And now, if he, for whatever reason, excuse me, and we all know Lamar Jackson hasn't even I think that if I'm not mistaken, the Baltimore Ravens organization were wanting to get into talks about reconstructing his contract or paying him um for paying Lamar for his services as a future quarterback for their organization. However, common he did not was not looking to have any type of um, communication in regards to that. The last time I heard, do you think that has changed for him, CC? Do you think that if he does not show up for mini camp, do you think that that will be a reason for him not to? Yes, Lamar represents himself as an agent. Yes, he does, Nathan. Do you think that may be a reason why he may not show up for mini camp is because of the fact of his his non-negotiating contract that he hasn't spoke of spoke of?
Well, I think him not speaking about it says everything that you need to know about the situation. Uh, if they've said that they've wanted to talk, then that means that there's some rumors swirling, or they've made, or they said, "Hey, we're thinking about giving you this. What do you think about this?" And basically, he said, "I don't want to talk about it," which means it ain't enough, for what he's looking
Mhm.
for. I mean, that's all I read out of that is,
Mhm.
it's not enough.
Yeah. Right. Right.
you
Come to
know,
the table with something bigger. Yeah.
right? Before I even come to the
Spark my
table,
interest. Spark
I
my
mean,
interest. Yeah.
right? That's the way I look at it. At least I hope that's where it is with him. But it's a risky game because if he doesn't get a deal done and he goes out there and play under that 23 million and he suffers an injury, a long term sustaining injury, man, could put a kibosh on it all, man. Like he could put an end to it.
Yes.
You know.
That's that part. And we know Lamar got hurt this past season. Wasn't nothing major. Thank God it wasn't major, but it did keep him out for a few games. So Lamar did get hurt this past season. So I do agree with you. Maybe the numbers aren't where they need to be for
Right.
Lamar to entertain their whatever they put on the table for him right now. He may have
Right.
looked at it and been like, you know what, I gotta go to lunch. I'm gonna holler at y'all when I
Right.
when y'all come up with something better than what y'all just threw at me.
Yeah.
Because he's well deserving of it. I do feel like Lamar is deserving. He has
I do.
earned the right to have a bigger and better contract that he's currently on. He's definitely been I have called him, and a lot of people may disagree, but I've called him the Michael Vick 2.0 of the league right now. I really have. I do feel like Lamar Jackson is that 2.0 Michael Vick. However, I don't feel as though Lamar Jackson's arm is not as quite as strong as Vic's arm was, in my opinion. He has a
Mm.
good arm, but I don't think his arm is as strong as Vic's arm was. But his athleticism is definitely on the same level,
I think he
without
throws.
question.
I think he throws a slightly better long ball than Vic though. Down the field,
Do
getting
you?
that air under the ball. I think he throws. Like Vic had that zip on the line, man. That left hand zip on the line.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
Lamar has what the NFL likes, like that little float up. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
That,
yeah,
that,
yeah.
you
The
know,
air under,
that drop
the
it
air
in there.
underneath. Yeah, yeah, the
The
air
air
underneath.
underneath and
Yeah,
drop it in there.
yeah, yeah. But I do agree. Lamar Jackson is definitely the future if he can stay healthy, and that's my biggest thing. And that was one of the biggest things in which people didn't like about Michael Vick. Michael Vick, a lot of people felt like Michael Vick was not a true quarterback in so many words. They felt like he was more of a threat running the ball than he was throwing the ball. And I personally felt like Vick could do both. I felt like he was able to do both. I feel like Lamar is able to do both. But we all know with quarterbacks like him, the Vicks, the Lamars, the Kyler Murrays, the Deshaun Watsons, those guys who have that great deal of athleticism have a tendency to get hurt more
Right.
because they put their body in serious situations when they out and running the ball. And we know most defensive players get a bit aggravated when you can't catch a small or when you can't catch a guy who's so elusive and you just have when you have that opportunity to lay that hit on that person, they trying to put every inch of what they have behind them into that lick. And 9 times out of 10, if they get one, it's 9 times out of 10 they put a hurting on them.
Oh,
And that's going to decide whether or not how long Lamar is able to stay healthy within the league.
yes.
Um,
And that,
I
you know,
do. Go ahead, CC. What you about to say?
and that's why I think and that's why I think that the Baltimore Ravens have to look at some point not running them as much,
Right.
scaling back on the RPOs and letting him use his arm a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
Show that confidence in in the arm and the ability to work the pocket because the stigma on a lot of these guys is they can't play within the pocket or whatever. They
Right.
have to scramble. They
Right.
have to. But it's like no. Deshaun Watson is good in the pocket, outside the pocket. I think Lamar is
Absolutely.
good. Mahomes, all these guys. Kyler Murray. His only problem in the pocket is he's a little bit shorter. Than most of these guys that we're talking about. He's a little bit shorter.
Right. Right.
So he does have to roll out here and there. I mean, you got 6'6" offensive linemen, man. These dudes are that small. Or
Bro.
you have to live in this. They basically live in the pistol and the shotgun these days. So that helps. But I think overall, I like this comment as far as they said the same thing about Randall Cunningham. But I think the difference with Lamar right now is winning. He's proven that he can win, and I think Baltimore is looking at Super Bowls. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Now he already has the MVP, regular
Mm-hmm.
season MVP. He's already done that. The next
Mm-hmm.
step for him is, man, can they really build around him and win Super Bowl? Or will they build around him and win Super Bowls?
That part.
Because we know the coach is mostly defensive minded.
Mm-hmm.
That's how they won their last Super Bowl or whatever. It was more
Mm-hmm.
defense. Now
Mm-hmm.
that the league has transitioned to mostly offense, can Harbaugh really put something together? So the emphasis is, for me, the onus is not on whether Lamar can; it's on the Ravens organization. What are they going to do to help them reach that without a great defense? You know,
So let me ask you this, CC, and anyone watching. We know the Lamar Jacksons, the Michael Vinks, the Kyler Murrays, and it's kind of hard for me to put Patrick the Great in there with them because he's not his athleticism isn't quite at that level as the Lamar Jacksons, the Vicks, and the Murrays. I will put Deshaun there. Um, but my question to you, CC, and everyone watching, when's the last time we've seen a quarterback with that type of athleticism win a Super Bowl?
um, oh man, that's you know,
That that part.
uh, you
Yeah,
know,
that part. And some people may say, "Oh, I know some people may say, oh, well, Russell Wilson." No,
nah,
I'll put Russell Wilson with Patrick the Great. He's not that. He's not. His
right.
athleticism ain't up there with the Vicks, the Kylers, and the
What Nate said
Lamars.
right there, never. No,
That part.
never.
Thank you. It
I mean,
that part.
never.
Andre, you say it's been a minute.
Who?
You say it's been a minute. Tell me who.
Who?
Tell me who
I mean, it's
won a
true.
Super Bowl. Not been to a Super Bowl.
Not been to a Super Bowl, but won a Super Bowl
Won a
because
Super Bowl.
because when he was doing his thing, Kaepernick was setting records in the postseason, running the
He
ball.
was.
You know what I
He
mean?
was.
And he made it to the Super Bowl. I mean,
He did.
I think that's the closest thing you can.
Closest.
I mean,
I agree.
I think
I
that's the
agree.
closest thing you can go with was Kaepernick, right?
I agree.
Or is Kaepernick? You can't,
Yeah. Right.
But yeah, you're right. They typically, but I will say this: it's sometimes it's about the perception, right? And we know it's a team sport, so
Mhm.
yeah, I want to see it.
Do
I
you
want
think
to
it
see.
can happen, CC? Do you
Yes,
think
I
we
do.
can see a Super Bowl do you think we can get a Super Bowl champion? Can't name one. I thank you, Andre. Exactly. Do
Okay.
you think we can see a Super Bowl champion with the athleticism of those type of individuals, the Vicks, the Murrays, the Lamars, win a Super Bowl? Do you think that can happen? Can we see that?
Yes. And this is why I'm going to say why. Bear with me a second on this one. Look,
Yeah, no, go
uh,
ahead. Do your thing.
but look, Steve McNair was one of my favorite quarterbacks, right?
Great
Because not
quarterback.
as
I like
athletic as
Steve.
these guys, but a runner,
Right.
arm, things like that. So they got in the Super Bowl against the Rams, and remember they had a chance to win it,
Mm-hmm.
but the play call was a pass, and they came up like inches short, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
The longest
if
yard. Yep.
if
We talked
you know
about
the
longest
egos of
yard.
the coaches is what I'm getting to right now. If that
Mm-hmm.
coach said go out there and win that game, then Steve McNair tucks that ball and runs everybody over in his path, and they win that game.
Mm-hmm.
They would have to gang
Mm-hmm.
tackle him to stop him
Mm-hmm.
his momentum.
Right, because he wasn't no little
For
dude.
those
Steve
that
McNair
saw it,
was no
right?
little dude.
So
Yeah,
I think that's
he was a linebacker playing quarterback.
so that's why I said what I said about Lamar. It's not him so much as it's the coaching and stuff, man. Uh, Loosen the reins. Tell them to go out there and win the game, and you'll win the game. Stop being. It has to be my play call. It has to be this. We saw that cost Pete Carroll, right? That ego.
Mm-hmm.
It cost
Yep.
Russell Wilson a Super Bowl with that ego,
Right.
right?
Just run John. I mean, just run Marshawn.
Marshawn,
Why
right,
not run Marshawn 1 yard
right.
line? Why not?
Do you
Yeah.
feel what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
it's
I
like
do.
it's
I
all
do.
about hey, let them go out there and win. Stop with the egos of it has to be this NFL play call. I'm doing no. You got a guy, especially a guy like a lot of these guys have been winners where they come from, right?
Right. Right.
Bowl games, all kinds of things. So it's
Mm-hmm.
like, and let them go out there and win the game. How do you think they won on the college, on the collegiate levels, the high school levels and stuff? They
Mm-hmm.
went out
Mm-hmm.
there and they played their game to win. But we have this thing when they come to the NFL, no matter who you are, it's always this, you got to get acclimated to the NFL game. When are these coaches going to start saying, hey, I got this tremendous talent and I want to see what all he can do, so I'm going to let him loose, right?
Mm-hmm.
They don't do that. They always try to hone it in and say you have to be, you have to be a pocket passer. You have to be this. No, I want to win. So
Right.
go win.
Right. I totally agree with you. Now to answer my own question, um, and then like I said, no one was able so far to come on here and say that and it has been done. I'm like CC. I would love for that to happen. Um, the possibilities of that happening, ooh, it's a reason why it hasn't happened. And like CC said, a lot of it has to do with the coaching. A lot of it has to do with the fact that the coaches get in has to get up off their ego, their pride, and allow some of these quarterbacks to be themselves, and allow them to take over the game and let their athleticism carry them into a championship. Um, can it happen? Yes. Will it happen anytime soon? Time will tell. Um, a lot of people would love to see Lamar do it. A lot of people, we Michael Vick almost came and done it with the Eagles. We came up short. We did. We came up short. Um, it's just I would love to see it. I would love to see it happen. But I was just sitting here and I was thinking, I was like, man, have we ever seen a quarterback with the athleticism of those type of quarterbacks ever win a Super Bowl? Yes, we've seen them in the Super Bowl. We have, but have they ever actually won one? And I couldn't think of one that had. I couldn't. Like you said, the last person that actually made it to one would be Colin Kaepernick,
Right.
but he came up short. He came up short. He was the last one that would fall in that category of athletic. The type of athleticism is the Lamar's and all that. He's the only one that's made it there but yet and still he hasn't. He wasn't the one to win it. But we will see. He has that. We know Kyler Murray has that opportunity. We know Lamar has the opportunity. Let's see if he can make it happen. Next, let's talk about. We talked about Patrick the Great, Patrick Mahomes. He's got a new offense in Kansas City. Of course, the Cheetah is gone, but a lot of people feels like Cheetah was his go to, which a lot of people can argue that he was or wasn't. Um, with that is the new offense in Kansas City with Andy Reid. Everyone gets the ball. concept, is that a recipe for Kansas City, CC, to continue to have a great deal of success out there in KC?
Yeah, it's been the. I mean, if you follow the Kansas City Chiefs, it's pretty much been the thing. And Andy Reid has always had that since Donovan McNabb spread. You
Right,
know, besides that TO stretch, name a receiver that played with Donovan McNabb. I mean, it's a collective thing.
right.
Collective thing. I always beg to differ when they say that Tyreek Hill made this whole big impact. He's a good player, and he was good in the Kansas City uniform, and he's the
Mhm.
fastest thing. He's the fastest thing in the NFL. But
Right.
he still has the tight end. He still has Travis Kelsey.
That
Um,
part.
so the game has not. What Patrick Mahomes learned last year is that it's not about so much flash. Sometimes you have to take those smaller plays. You can't always look for that big play. So I think spreading the ball around is going to be perfect because now it's not just about outscoring a team for him anymore. He learned that. Now it's about moving the chains. They'll be fine. They'll be fine. You know,
Okay.
I'll take. You know what? Speed kills, but I'll take good route runners any day
Mm,
over speed because you know,
mm,
I would take good route runners every day over speed. So I think that's their goal right there. That, hey, we can still be effective.
But see, the thing about that though, CC, for me, right? You say you'll take good route running over speed. One thing you can't do is you can't teach speed. You can teach route running. Speed can't be taught. Either you have it or you don't. Can you work at making your speed an advantage against your opponent? Yes, you can teach that. But in regards to teaching speed, that's not possible. Route running is. I do agree with you though on the concept of the fact that Kansas City and Patrick are going to be able. Andy Reid is good at, like you said, he did it in Philly. He's just will be able to I do feel like Patrick will be able to um, spread the ball. Like you said, he still has Kelsey, which is a huge offensive threat down the field. Probably one of the top five tight ends in the league without question. Um, I do feel like he'll still be able to spread the ball evenly and still be able to make big plays down the field. No, he don't have that over the top threat like he had with Cheetah, but um, I still think they'll be able to get it done and still be able to get it, make it happen. Oh, time will tell. We'll see. Um, hopefully we'll see sooner than later once the season starts. But Patrick Mahomes is a special talent, man. He's a special quarterback. That dude is not, they're not that they don't nickname him Patrick the Great for no reason. The dude is very impeccable, as and Andre said, as Punchline said, Russ. He's very impeccable. He's a very good quarterback. His IQ is phenomenal. He's a great quarterback on the run outside the pocket. He's able to find those lanes to be able to throw the ball in areas to be able to get those receivers to get it open and make plays down the field. So let's see. I'm hoping. I'm looking forward to seeing how the Kansas City Chiefs do without Cheetah. But I think I'm even more looking forward to seeing how Cheetah performs out there with Tua. Because as y'all all know, I feel, and we know Trey feels totally different than me, but I feel Tua is not going to be able to be that dude to get the ball to Cheetah like Patrick was. But again, we
Yeah,
will see. Time will tell.
yeah. I don't
I
think
just don't see it.
it remains to be seen. Yeah, but I don't think Tua. And that's my point. You were talking speed. Uh,
Mhm,
if I could say,
mhm,
remember the Patriots with the Randy Moss. They went undefeated, and when
mhm.
they got in the Super Bowl, what did that speed get you? Actually, it got you a loss, right? Because because Randy Moss had one thing: speed. Where were the route running? Where
Yeah,
was the route running? Do you feel what I'm saying?
right,
Speed, and it
right. I
caught
get you. No, yeah, I totally get you. Where you
And
coming
the
from?
Giants said we're gonna take away that deep route. We're gonna take away that deep route. What else you got?
Right, right,
What else you got?
right, right.
You know.
Now don't get me wrong. I totally understand where you're coming from. Yeah, speed can only get you so far because, like you say, if for whatever reason, and I think this is what's going to happen in Miami, like you just said, speed can only get you far. Now we know with Cheetah out in Kansas City, a lot of what Andy Reid liked to do with Cheetah. Yes, he liked to sit him down the field and just open up the field and let Cheetah just run and outrun everybody. But there was a lot of times Andy Reid liked to send the Cheetah in the crossing routes because none of the corners and none of the linebackers could stay with his speed coming across that field, 50 yards across the field. You just can't do it. And
Right.
once he gets in, and Patrick knew that, and knowing that if he can get the ball in the Cheetah's hands quicker, the sooner he get the ball in Cheetah's hands in those crossing routes, those in routes and stuff, the better off the Cheetah was to be able to outrun everybody else down the field.
Oh yeah.
And that's the thing. Now, like you said, with Randy Moss and the Patriots, when he was in the Patriots, all they had to do was put somebody over top and underneath
Right.
Randy Moss. You do that, you can't outrun somebody that's 15 yards ahead of you, 10
Right.
yards ahead of you. You're not going to outrun them. And the time it takes you to outrun them, by that time the quarterback is sacked.
Exactly.
So now he has to find that he has to go through his progression and find somebody else. And if now you've taken an element of their game out of it because now you have that downfield threat is no longer a threat. Now you forcing somebody else to beat you.
Oh
And if they are not good at running routes and getting open,
yeah.
you have won the
Right.
battle. I got you.
Right.
I feel you. I feel you, CC. I feel you. I feel
Right.
you. I feel you. I'm with you. I'm with you. I'm with you. So I wish Trey was here because this is a topic in which it would probably be near and dear to him. The question is Jimmy G. Jimmy G, we know he's out there from 49ers. We do know it was huge talks about Jimmy being traded from San Francisco um, um, to who knows where. But we do know Jimmy G was coming off of surgery on his shoulder. So a lot of teams are probably questioning of whether or not Jimmy G is where he stands in regards to being rehabilitated, that rehabilitated shoulder, and how he's doing with physical therapy and all of those things. Do you feel CC Jimmy G trade is imminent? Do you feel as though he will be somewhere else in this upcoming season, or do you see San Francisco holding on to Jimmy G and still leaving um uh oh boy on the back burner, Trey Lance on the back burner, and maybe still, believing in Jimmy and hoping that he can push San Francisco a little further than they went this past season?
Um, I don't see Jimmy G there. I don't even. As a matter of fact, I see this happening. If they can't get anything from him in trade value, I see them cutting him. I see them cutting.
Ooh, whoa.
I mean, I see. Like yeah, I see. Um, I just see they have to make that move. And I did a little homework as far as the new injury rules and all that kind of stuff. And we know he likes to
Uh-huh.
live on the injured list. He's going to count against that injury thing. Oh, they're not going to let that happen. They're going to be like, yeah, I think they'll cut him, before they, if they can't find a trade, if they can't get
Mhm.
something from him. Of course, once the head coach says, man, I think you're going to be traded, I don't think he's thinking, you're going to
Mhm.
be traded, you know, provided they can find something to trade him for.
Mhm.
Obviously, the head coach doesn't want him. That's going to decide a lot for him. But yeah, I think they'll cut him if they can't find anywhere for him to go or get anything back from him for him.
So let me ask you this. You're the general manager, you're the coach, you're the offensive coordinator, whichever one, right? You're wearing one of those hats for the 49ers. Mandatory workouts about to come up. Do you trade Jimmy before that? Or do you wait and see during minicamp on whether or not you want to trade Jimmy and see how his arm is holding up after surgery? Or do you trade him prior to?
I don't think they're basing it on what his injury or anything. I think they're basing
Mhm.
it on they want to win the Super Bowl, and he's only taking them so far. I think that's what they're really basing it on, and
Mhm.
understanding the offense and not making mistakes in crucial moments of playoff games is what. So
Mhm.
I don't think it has anything to do with that, but I think they should. I think they're going to hold them up until that last moment where they have to decide cut or keep because they
Mhm.
want to get something for them. You want to get something
Right.
for them. you want, it's a business. You want something for him, whether it's draft
But can
picks.
you get that much for him though right now, CC, knowing that he's just coming off that surgery though? Like, what
But
is his trade value being that he's coming off a surgery?
even if you get like a late second round, third round pick, even a fifth
Okay.
round pick, you got something for him, right? You just didn't
Okay.
give him up. You didn't give him up for anything, and some of those third and fifth round picks could be jewels out there, man. Like
Okay.
so you got to give yourself that chance.
Okay. 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 So, man, for me, I feel what you're saying. I do know. I do understand that. With Shanahan, I do feel like they kind of like protected Jimmy because they knew his shoulder wasn't what it needed to be last season. So they knew he was about to have surgery. So they didn't force him to do a whole lot with his arm during the playoffs, during the postseason for the 49ers. We do know, and we know if Trey was here, he would say, well, he was only an interception away from going to the conference finals. Got it. Whatever. Conference championship. Got it.
Mhm.
And Jimmy did get him to that point. I think it's so many unanswered questions about Trey. We're talking about Trey Lance. We do know Trey did get some time. We do know he did get a couple of looks when Jimmy, wasn't playing for the 49ers. Is Trey a better option, a healthy Trey, a better option for the 49ers than a banged up Jimmy? Because we do know when Trey did get on the field, he wasn't the best look. He wasn't the best look. It wasn't the Trey in which a lot of people were expecting to see behind center for the 49ers. With that said, that's the reason why Jimmy ended up coming back because I feel as though if Trey would have been what the 49ers expected him to be, Jimmy probably would have got that surgery done even sooner
Right.
and probably may have not even made it to the end of the season to even be talking about trades because they probably already got rid of him by the end of the season before the end of the season ended or whatever, or let him go or got released him or whatever, didn't re-sign him or whatever. So I feel this is just me, CC. I feel that they didn't see enough in Trey Lance production to push Jimmy out last season. So my question is Trey ready now? I know we have to wait and see because we know it's a new season coming up, but is Trey the person that they may expect to get them to Super Bowl caliber team?
They better hope so. They better hope. I'm just saying they better hope so.
Yeah,
Because Jimmy G has taken you to he's taking you there.
that
Like
part.
and he's got 2 NFC championship games, man. You can't sleep on that.
That part.
And now you know why Bill Belichick drafted him in the first place. I mean, you know what I'm saying? You know why the Patriots picked him in the first place. That
Right.
Jimmy G can play ball. He
Mhm.
can help you. But yeah, it's a huge gamble for them.
It is.
I personally, being having a team that's in the NFC, hey, thank y'all. If y'all go gamble on Trey Lance, thank y'all. we, we know y'all won't be around in the end. I'm just gonna put
Right,
that out
right,
there. Yeah, Trey, I
right.
said that. Y'all won't be if y'all take Trey Lance, y'all won't be around in the end. I
And
just
I
look
think
at it.
that's the same thing. Why I think that's what I think it's almost in the same prediction. And I'm not comparing. Please don't get me wrong. I'm not making a comparison when I tell you this name. I think or this team. I think this is the same thing in regards to when it happened with the Green Bay Packers. The Green Bay Packers didn't like what they saw in Jordan Love, so they was imminent about keeping Aaron in Green Bay. When Aaron wanted to leave Green Bay, remember beginning of last season, he was trying to get up out of Green Bay. But again, they saw that Jordan Love was not that dude. He wasn't producing what they thought he was going to be, how he was going to
Right.
produce within the Green Bay organization. Therefore, they was like, oh no, oh no, hold on, pause now. We can't let Aaron go like this. Not with Love playing like that. We can't. Hold on, Paul. Let's wait. We need to either pay Aaron or do something because Jordan, he's not ready. And I feel like that's where the 49ers are right now. I mean, I could be wrong. Again, we're still talking. It's still early. The season hasn't started yet. We will see. But going off of what we saw what we saw Trace play last year and how Jordan played last year, neither one of them played up to par to what they was expected to coming into
Right.
the league.
So that's why I think, yeah, that's what I said. Hey, y'all you're doing the rest of the league a favor if that's your plan. Like, I don't,
Yeah,
what gets me about the whole thing is you've been winning with this guy. You haven't won with any other quarterback.
that part. That
Kyle
part.
Shanahan, you haven't won with any other quarterback. I mean,
That part. That part. And
I
I
mean,
think that's what's so mind-boggling. It's like, but I don't get it. But again, you made that quarterback pick. You know, Green Bay did the same thing, made a quarterback pick with Jordan Love. So it was obviously
mhm,
in your plans that you wasn't looking for the future with Garoppolo, nor were you looking for the future
right.
with Rodgers initially. Initially, we know now they are, but initially you weren't because you drafted a quarterback in the first round. But it just like uh, what you not. I knew Trey was gonna come on here sometime when he talk about that Jimmy, bro. It is what it is, man. I just asked CC a true question, man. I just wanted
Right.
to see, man. That was one of your topics in regards to Jimmy G, man. Is it
Yeah.
imminent for Jimmy G to be traded out of San Francisco? And CC said, yeah.
Yeah.
It is what it is, bro. He's got it. I mean, but like he said, if y'all do trade him, CC said, thank you. Because Trey is definitely not that dude. Trey is definitely not that dude. But maybe it's because y'all got the same name, Trey, that you feel so confident about Trey. Maybe y'all got that. Maybe it's that thing. I don't know. But we'll see. We will see, Jim. But it is what it is. So moving on. So we know that the Los Angeles Rams were Super Bowl champions of this past season. The question at hand is, will they repeat? Will the LA
No,
Rams repeat as Super Bowl champions? You say again,
no,
season. Was that a no, sir?
no,
Mm. So do you
no.
feel like, let me ask you this. Do you feel like we spoke about basketball, right? Do you feel, but all that other stuff, so, Trey, yeah, it's real necessary. It's real necessary. We know you're gonna say no about the Rams, Trey. We know that. So do you feel this? Do you feel, CC? And you probably do because I know I do. Do you feel the same way like we talk about the NBA in regards to returning to the NBA finals is like this is the same as regards to returning to Super Bowl? It's hard. It's very
It's
hard.
hard. It's
It's not
hard.
guaranteed.
Hard
It's
to
not
repeat.
guaranteed. Yes, sir. It's not guaranteed. It's definitely not guaranteed. They got a good shot at it.
I mean,
I
every
and,
team, every team
Go ahead,
starts
CC.
0-0, so every team has a good shot at it when it all starts out.
That,
You know what I mean?
that part. When the season started, everybody got a chance. Even the Chicago Bears down to the
Right.
Detroit Lions. Everybody has a chance. We know that. Yes,
But
but
I think injuries I think injuries will play a part in how far they go this coming season.
mm,
Those always play a part. You don't know what's going to happen. I wouldn't even say they front runners. I think in my mind,
ooh,
in my mind, I mean, me being a Cowboy fan, I would
don't
say
you do it? Don't you
I would
do it?
like for us to see
Don't
if we can
you?
do something. But then check this out. But for real, as far as doing shows and stuff, man, you can't sleep on Tom Brady. As long as number 12 is on a
Say
team,
that part.
as long as number 12 is on a team, you can't. You know what I'm saying?
Now Trey ain't gonna like that. See, Trey ain't gonna like that because you know how he feel about even the 49ers too, they're
Yeah,
doing,
all
which
right.
we just
Even the
talked about Trey.
49ers.
We just talked about Trey Lance. But anyway, Trey ain't gonna like that about the GOAT. And I totally agree with you. I totally said the same thing. When Tom Brady, as long as Tom Brady is still on that gridiron, bro, he look at Trey. As long as Tom Brady is still on that gridiron, bro, he has a great possibility of going to that big game. He does. I don't care what nobody says. As long as that man is out there still throwing that pigskin, he has the capabilities of still going. Now, the thing I will say though, CC, and we have seen this before, don't get me wrong. But normally, normally, normally after teams win the Super Bowl, a lot of the teams, for whatever reason, stop it, Trey. The GOAT is the GOAT for a reason.
Right.
Normally, a lot of teams that win the Super Bowl, they normally um, trade away a lot of key players, and I don't know why that is. It's been a huge trend that they
Mm.
trade away a lot of players after their Super Bowl win. However, the one thing that has not happened is the fact that the Rams haven't done that. They did get rid of they did let whatchamacall go Von Miller. Von Miller is gone. However, everyone else outside of OBJ who hasn't re-signed or anything yet, but everybody else is still in that Rams organization. Everybody else is still in that Rams organization. So it's for me. I'm not saying they're gonna win the Super Bowl. I'm not saying that. I'm definitely not saying that. Rams had Brady ready to quit. Stop it. I don't
Wow.
believe that. I don't believe that. Stop it. I'm not saying they're gonna win. I'm not saying the Rams gonna win the Super Bowl. I'm not. However, I'm saying they are still, in my opinion, are huge contenders.
Yeah,
Huge
they
contenders.
contend.
I will say Matthew Stafford is a total different Matthew Stafford behind that Rams offense. Total different dude, bro.
He's a look, Bishop. I agree with you, man. They contenders. However,
Mhm.
I look at it like look at the Bucks. They tried to repeat. They had the whole squad, 22
Mhm.
offense and defense came back, still fell
Mhm.
short. You
They
know,
did. They did. You're
injuries
right.
here and there, and all that. You can say all that stuff, but they fell short. Let's just
Mhm.
keep it. So I think the Rams, same thing. I think they'll defend their probably make the playoffs and stuff, but I don't think
Mhm.
they're gonna win.
Mhm. And who do you have, CC? Who do you have as favorites? I pause in saying this,
I just
but
told you,
who?
TB12, man, Tom Brady.
Oh,
Look,
that is your favorite. Oh, that is your favorite for the
this is
Super
why.
to
But this is
win
why
or just to go to
to
win.
win the Super Bowl, and this is
Oh,
why.
okay. Oh, okay.
I
Okay.
think he's gonna go out on top. I think he'll really retire. But this is why I always pick Brady. People underestimate the power of leadership. You go around the league.
Say that.
Even the Rams. Take the Rams for instance. You got
Mm-hmm.
you got 2, 3 different leaders on that team, man. You got
That part.
they say McVay, and then you got Aaron Donald leading the defense, and then you got and then look, and then you got Matthew Stafford on the offense. When Tom
That
Brady
part.
walks in, he's the commander in chief of offense and defense. When the defensive players respond to a guy like you can't overlook that, man. That's
I
just
agree.
they just you look at this guy. All right, Trey.
Trey, he just bro, I don't know what it is, CC, about Trey and Tom Brady, man. He just do not want that dude to be, man. He's the GOAT for a reason, Trey. Stop hating on
Right,
this. The way you feel about us, how you talk about us when we be hating on LeBron, that's what you doing to Tom, bro. That's
right,
what you're doing to Tom. You're doing that, and Tom has proven. He has proven himself, bro. He went from one team, Super Bowl team, and went
right,
to a whole nother team and won a Super Bowl, bro. Who's
right,
doing that?
right.
Bro, come on, man.
Exactly.
Lions just suck. Stafford had the Lions in the playoffs when they had no business being there. And that's the thing. Lions did suck when, especially when they lost Megatron. The Lions
Yeah.
definitely went downhill once the Megatron retired. It was a wrap.
Mm.
How can you say he was the GOAT?
Was the
What do
goat.
you mean? He's
Like
still
he's
he's still
retired
playing.
already.
Yeah, he's still playing. You cannot call. You can't put him in a past tense. He's still playing.
My
He has
question:
to continue to be the GOAT.
who's the goat right now? Then, if he was the goat, who we looking at right
I'll
now?
wait. We'll wait. Thank you. I like that question, CC. Who's the GOAT now? Good question. And don't come. You better not come out your head sideways with that one, Trey. His reign is not over, bro.
You know,
It's close. It's probably this. Is, he already said this is his last season. He's going into the box next year, but it's not
Rogers.
over. Rodgers, the blasphemy.
Regular season, yes. Regular season.
But there's no such thing as a regular season GOAT, CC.
That's
There's no
my
such
point.
thing as a regular season GOAT.
That's my point.
Stop it.
Regular
Yeah,
season,
like come on, man.
Aaron
Come on,
Rodgers,
bro.
yay.
You can't give look, Trey, you can't give Rodgers the GOAT status because he hasn't won but one. He hasn't won but one Super Bowl, bro. You can't
That
give
right
him
there.
GOAT status. One. You can't
One.
do that. You cannot do that, Trey. You cannot. To me, you cannot give him that. I agree with CC. Aaron Rodgers, we know he won MVP. He's the man. I will say that. But like I told you before, he's not the GOAT. He's the boat. He's the best of all time right now. He's the best. He hasn't earned that G. He ain't earned that G yet,
If you want to
in my
win,
opinion.
the way I look at it is if you want to win, if you want to be 13-4, 14-3, and all that, then go with Aaron Rodgers. But when the postseason comes, what sucks to me. What sucks to me is they always say that home field is so important. This man ain't won a Lambeau yet. They always say
that part.
He can't even beat you at home. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
That part. that part, man. CC. We got silence now, Trey. Huh? You ain't saying nothing, huh? You ain't saying nothing now. Huh? And he has a great point, bro. He has a great point. The thing about Aaron Rodgers, he's only won one. I do agree. I give him the boat status. The one thing about Tom Brady, bro, CC said it earlier, and I don't know if you missed it. They almost beat the 1972 Miami Dolphins undefeated season record. He came a Super Bowl win away from that. A Super Bowl. Aaron Rodgers haven't even come close to that. Has not. You have to keep Tom Brady as the GOAT because he did almost accomplish. Now get it. Don't get me wrong. He almost did it. Now almost doing it is not doing it. Got it. But he's the only one that is come that close in years. Years. Yet and still he has more Super Bowl rings than any other quarterback in NFL history.
Right.
And then to go and win one with a whole nother team, right? Not that he went to Tampa Bay and then played there for 2 to 3 seasons and then won a Super Bowl. No, he just stepped foot out of the New England Patriots organization, says, I'm going to go over here to Tampa Bay and I'm going to show y'all my worth. I'm going to show you why they label me the GOAT. And went over there and made it happen. And like CC said it, he said it best. He went over there and became the captain. He said, look, y'all want to win a Super Bowl? I need y'all to bring these individuals in to this team. You bring these individuals into this team, we going to win y'all a Super Bowl here in Tampa Bay. That's a captain. That's a leader.
Hey, head coach, put your ego aside and let me run some of these plays. Let me show you some of the plays that I want to run because the stuff that you're doing is getting us killed out here. It's not working. You know what I'm saying? Let me show you. You know what I'm saying? Let me show you how to win. I mean, that's why I like Tom Brady. Let me show you how to win.
Yeah, absolutely. Who would start your team at point? Bruh, really? That's hands down TB12. Without question. Exactly. That's a no-brainer. That is a true no-brainer, bro. In my opinion, Aaron Rodgers made a living picking on the Lions and the Bears. The two garbage teams in the league. I feel
it's not his fault they're in that division.
Medication kicking in. I'm trying to keep up. Oh, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Just don't come on here talking about the kickers. We'll be all right. We're not gonna act like he didn't play with the Avengers in Tampa Bay. I just said that. I said he played with the Avengers, but who assembled the Avengers?
Right.
Who said I'm coming? I just said who came into Tampa Bay and said, hey, I need the rest of the Avengers to come in. I know we got old boy over here at wide receiver, but I got a couple more guys over here that I need to come on in here. If we gonna win, if we gonna beat Thanos, I need everybody. Come on, let me add all these people in here. Let's add all these people in here. Stop it, Trey. Stop it. Hey, man, that's our time, man. I want to thank y'all, man. First, let me thank CC, man. I appreciate CC being on here with me today, man. I wouldn't have been able to do this show without you, man. I greatly appreciate you tuning in with us today on First Formation. It's been a pleasure having you all week, man. We love having CC on the show, man. Great knowledge on sports. Love having him coming and giving him input. When your opponent is kicking it out, here he go. We really appreciate you, CC, man. It's been you've been so helpful, man. Especially being that Trey was out today. Hope prayers for you, Trey. Hopefully your surgery went well.
Yeah,
Hopefully the medication to help with your mind and help you to realize that the goat is the goat and he is who he is. And that punters are irrelevant. But either way, CC, go ahead and put your plug in. Tell everybody about your show, man.
man. Thank y'all for having me on, man. Like I said yesterday, you guys are inspiring. It's always a pleasure to be here. Trey, get well, and yeah, check it out. The Sim Show that stimulates your mind every Tuesday, 5:30 p.m. Uh, WDRB Media, iHeart, Tuned In, Apple Music, etc. Check out the page also, thesimshow.com, right there on the screen. Uh, Again, thank y'all for having me, man. Great Memorial Day weekend to everyone.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank appreciate y'all. So man, appreciate everyone that was on the show. Thank y'all so much, man. Y'all enjoy y'all Memorial Day weekend. Get out there, do some things, man. Have some fun and be careful out there. Be safe. Again, we couldn't do this. We cannot do this show without all y'all's help and y'all support and y'all coming on the show. Please tell your friends about it. Tell y'all friends about the Sim Show, CC Show. Make sure y'all come support CC as well. MIA gets the win tonight. Really, Trey? Ooh, boy, hey man, get off the meds, bro.
Ooh,
Get off the
bold
meds. It's the
prediction.
man's talking. It's the man's talking. We
Yeah,
understand.
that man's kick. The man's kicking
Yeah,
in.
man, is really kicking in, bro. Get you some sleep, bro, because obviously it's deterring your mind. But we really appreciate y'all, man. Y'all have a great weekend. We will see you here again on Monday through Friday, 09 to 1100 hours, and that's 9 o'clock a.m. to 11 o'clock a.m. Central Standard Time for you civilian personnel. Again, have a great weekend. Enjoy yourself. First formation, fall out. Y'all have a great weekend. This is Bishop Psi, Row 5 Military Fraternity Incorporated representing. Y'all have a great weekend. Y'all be safe. Peace.
Pretty sure.